Kart World and Kirby Air Riders, two amazing games in their own right. Mario Kart World gave us this giant open world we can explore using free roam and giving us a new type of track called intermission tracks, which I know we don't like. We also got a bunch of new mechanics in this game, like charge jumps, wall riding, and rail grinding, and they're all amazing to use, especially on the 3-lap tracks. And Kirby Air Riders got revealed in the Switch 2 Direct, and people were pretty on it. We even got a Nintendo Direct on it, where people were still pretty on it. But then we got a second Direct on it, and everybody is starting to love it. So, as you all saw in the title and the thumbnail, we are going to be comparing these two amazing games. And we're going to be comparing them using these 5 categories: characters, tracks, music, modes, and online. Characters and tracks are pretty obvious, but for characters, I'm going to be combining characters and machines/carts together. And modes is pretty obvious too. I'm going to be picking which game has the best modes to pick from. In the odd one out, we have music. I love music in video games, so I just wanted to add this one as a little oddball. And finally, we have online, from what you do while waiting for a race to start and the game-specific way of getting you to come back to play online. So with that all said, we're going to be comparing Mario Kart World to Kirby Air Riders. Take your guess on which game is going to win in the comments, and let's get her started. And now we're going to start with the first category of the video, and that is the carts and the characters. This category is going to be a little odd, because if one game has better characters and one game has better machines/carts, they'll get a half a point. But if one of the games has the advantage on both of them, they add up to 1 total point. So with that all said, let's not waste any more of your time and let's get this category started. Starting out with the characters, and we're always going to be starting with Mario Kart World because it is the first game to come out of the 2 games we're talking about. Now, there's a lot of things I can say about Mario Kart World's roster. It is all over the place. Don't get me wrong, we have great characters like Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Toadette, Toad, and all of those amazing characters already. But we have a bunch of oddballs called NPC racers, which are like Cataquack, Sidestepper, and Swoop. It just really confused me why they use these characters over mainstays like Funky Kong, Diddy Kong, and Petey Piranha. Especially Diddy Kong, I feel like he should have for sure been in this game. But there's also some NPC characters I really like Penguin, Coin Coffer, and a bunch of others. And really, to sum it all up, Mario Kart World has a good roster, but it's for sure not the best in the series. I thought Mario Kart 8 had a way better roster, especially with the DLC characters. But as you can tell, it's for sure not the worst in the series. I mean, heck, just look at the older games. There's only like 8 characters. So yeah, Mario Kart World's character roster is not bad, not great. It's pretty good. Now, Kirby Air Riders' character roster is good, don't get me wrong. But Sakurai went back to those NPC characters again, like Rocky and Waddle Dee, which, don't get me wrong, Waddle Dee is good, but he's a reskin of Bandana Waddle Dee. But once again, we also have some great characters coming too, like Megalore, King Dedede, and Meta Knight. Sakurai also hinted that there's going to be more characters too, because he basically said in the direct, these are the only ones I'm going to be showing you before the game releases. Which leads me to believe that we're going to be unlocking something in story mode, in my opinion, which would be amazing. But if we had to compare Mario Kart World's character roster to Kirby Air Riders' roster currently, I personally think that Mario Kart World takes the cake here. Now, don't get me wrong, the NPC characters are fine, but I do personally like their addition in some ways. So yeah, Mario Kart World right now is going to take half a point. Now we're going to move on to the second part of this category, and that is the carts/machines in these games. Starting with Mario Kart World, and honestly, I love how creative all these vehicles are. I mean, heck, we literally have a train-themed bike, a lobster cart, and even a snowmobile. And honestly, I am super glad they made these carts so diverse, because you can pick a specific one for the specific biome you're going to be in, or specific cup you're going to play. Like, say you're going to be playing the Shell Cup, which is beach themed. Then you can play as the lobster cart because guess what? That's a sea creature. They even brought back some old ones too, like the Parabitty-Bud, the Pipe Frame, and even the Mock Bike, which is really neat. And of course, you gotta mention the Tiny Titan too. That is an amazing vehicle. But that's honestly all I have to say with Mario Kart Worlds. Once again, they're not good, they're not bad. I'm just gonna give it a solid 4 out of 10. But Kirby Air Riders is where all the magic happens with the vehicles. And if you've watched any of the directs or played any of the demos recently, you know how good these vehicles are. We got some really cool vehicles like the Shadow Star, the Transform Star, the Paper Star, and so much more. We even got these new Ultra vehicles called the Dragoon, which you know from Smash, and the Hydra, which is pretty neat too. The Dragoon can fly super high into the air, and the Hydra is just a huge tank that can just destroy anything in its path. And they each have their own little special thing. Take the wagon, for example. It's very tanky, but it can't do boost when it drifts. And even though there's only 2 types of vehicles, they all look so unique. I mean, heck, just take the regular bike and the Rex bike, for example. They look kinda similar, but super unique in their own way. So yeah, as you can tell, Kirby Air Riders takes the cake for the Kart and Machines category. Which means to end this first category, each game has half a point. And now for our second main section, we have my most anticipated one, and that is the tracks. And before this one person asked, since this and all the other categories are going to be one big category, each section is going to have 1 point to them. So with that all said, let's get right into Mario Kart World. So when I mention this game and its tracks, I know the first thing you're thinking is, well, the intermission tracks. And yeah, don't get me wrong, I am going to incorporate these intermission tracks, but I am going to be heavily leaning on the 3-lap tracks. And speaking of the intermission tracks, I just want to talk about them and get them out of the way. So as we all know, these intermission tracks are super bad. I mean, they literally call them straight line simulators. And it doesn't help that there's like nothing going on these intermission tracks. I mean, heck, there might be like a tornado or like a Goomba on the road, but that's pretty much it. We also have these stupidly long ones that Nintendo slaps like a 5-lap counter on them, which I hate a lot. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about the intermissions a little, and as you can tell, I absolutely hate them. Now, going to the 3-lap tracks, these are a whole different story. We have amazing tracks like Great Question Block Ruins, Crown City, Sky High Sunday, and so much more. And the reason why I really like these tracks is not the selection they pick, it's how you play them. Because in Mario Kart World, we all know you can do these new charge jumps, rail grinds, and wall riding, which add a lot to the track. And as you can see in the background right now is a world record of Acorn Heights, and it honestly is amazing to watch. So yeah, compared to the intermission tracks, the 3-lap tracks are amazing in Mario Kart World, and I highly recommend picking them online other than these stupid intermission tracks. Now going on to Kirby Air Riders, and these tracks are also super good. There are some that are super short, like Flora Fields, and we also have these giant ones like that Autumn track that I forgot the name of. It also adds a lot to the environment when Nintendo added so many enemies on the racetrack. And if you've played Kirby, you know you'd be able to suck them up and even use copy abilities in the races. I mean, heck, the version of the Bullet Bill in Kirby Air Riders is literally a missile that blows everyone up when you're by it. That is amazing. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention they're bringing back all the tracks from the first Kirby Air Ride game, which is pretty neat. So yeah, I haven't played a lot of Kirby Air Riders tracks, but as of playing the demos and watching the directs, they look absolutely amazing and jam-packed. But with both of the games out of the way, I'm going to have to give the tracks to Kirby Air Riders. I just love how, once again, these tracks are so jam-packed and so fun to play on. So that means Kirby Air Riders is at 1.5 points, with Mario Kart World at only half a point. Now for this third section, it's actually a really odd one, and I decided to go with music. Starting with Mario Kart World, and I'm pretty sure we all know how good this soundtrack actually is. Now, don't get me wrong, the track themes are amazing, like Crown City, Peach Stadium, and heck, even Rainbow Road. But when you play free roam, that is where all the magic happens. There's like 250 remix tracks from old Mario games. I actually use one of these tracks as the background music of like all of my shorts. And it's actually the remix version of GCN Sherbet Land, and when I play it for you, it'll sound instantly familiar. Also, the energetic remixes are the ones that play while you're doing intermission races, which is really neat. So overall, as we all know, Mario Kart World soundtrack is so peak, and I'm so mad that they don't have like a jukebox or something to pick your playlist. I mean, heck, even Nintendo a couple weeks back know that we really want this on Nintendo Music, and I know I do too. And now we got Kirby Air Riders, and I want to talk about the music because they actually put some of it on Nintendo Music already, so I thought it'd be appropriate to talk about it. Starting off, we have to talk about the main theme because it's kind of like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate main theme where a person is actually singing it. Just take a listen. And if you've played the demos and stuff, you know it sounds very familiar to the Skya theme when you're playing in City Trial. Which, as you can guess, yeah, that's basically it. Oh, and as you can guess, most of these tracks are very upbeat, which I like because it fits the game very well. Because like I said in the last section, so many things are happening, both in City Trial and Air Ride at the same time. And speaking of the tracks, there are a bunch of soundtracks I like from a lot of them, but here are some of my favorites. I really like Flow, one of the courses in Top Ride, because it just has such a good vibe to it. I also, from the Air Ride mode, really like Mount Amber Falls' theme and Flora Fields' theme. But yeah, to sum it all up, Kirby Air Riders has a great soundtrack because it is so upbeat and so fun to listen to. But in the end, I think we all know the clear winner here, and that is Mario Kart World soundtrack. So with that all said, both of the games are back and tied up at 1.5 points. Now for our fourth section, we have the modes, and this one is actually going to be very interesting. Starting with Mario Kart World, and we can't talk about it without starting with the Grand Prix mode. Now at first glance, Grand Prix mode looks the same as all of the originals, 4 3-lap races. Which yeah, on the first race, you actually do 3 laps of the first course. But when you start the second race, you're actually driving to the next track, and those are called intermission races, and we all already know we hate them. But here's the worst part I haven't even mentioned. When you get to a track, you actually only do 1 lap of that track, which was really irritating. But I think the coolest part about Grand Prix in this game is that each Grand Prix is based off a specific biome in the world. So Banana is jungle, Shell Cup is beach, etc. Now for the second mode, we have Knockout Tour, and this one I'm pretty mixed with too. So there's 8 knockout rallies, and you go from one side of the world all the way to the other side of the world, which I think is amazing. It's like one giant track. But here's the catch, you start with 24 racers, but at each checkpoint you eliminate the bottom 4 racers, which is really cool. And then it gets down to the last 4 racers, and you do a lap of the final track, and finally you have your winner. Now Knockout Tour is a fun mode, don't get me wrong, but I wouldn't play it unless I'm playing with friends. And finally, we have the mode that was advertised the most, and that is free roam. You can actually do a few things in free roam, like do P-switch missions, collect Peach medallions, and run over question mark panels. You can also explore the vast world of Mario Kart World, but that's pretty much it. All of those Peach medallions and P-switch missions only give you stickers, which is really disappointing. I mean, it doesn't even unlock characters. So yeah, yeah, as you can tell, I'm pretty mixed with Mario Kart Worlds modes, but let's see how Kirby Air Rides modes are. Starting out, we have its Air Ride mode, which is basically its Grand Prix. And like I said in the track section, all of these tracks are super energetic with so many enemies on them. And after playing these tracks, I can tell you that Air Ride mode is better than Grand Prix any day. But I can't really talk about Air Ride because as of recording this, I have only played the demos, so that's all I can really talk about. But I can tell you this, I played a lot of City Trial during the demos, and that was amazing. I mean, heck, it is 10 times better than Knockout Tour in every way. And the reason why I'm comparing it to Knockout Tour is because they're like both really huge advertised modes, so I just wanted to compare them. So in City Trial, you want to collect these PNGs which increase a specific stat like glide, turning, etc. And after the 5-minute timer is up, you compete in this one giant minigame that combines all your stats together to beat all your other rivals. So yeah, as you can tell, I love City Trial and I cannot wait to play it when I get the game this Christmas. We also have this little side mode called Top Ride, and honestly this looks kind of underrated. It's basically just the versus race mode of Kirby Air Riders. If you want to play a quick little race, boom, just hop on Top Ride and do a little race. My favorite part about this mode is that they remake all the tracks to make them look like a little toy set, and you can actually watch your racers go around the whole track without even moving the camera. I know a lot of people were just on this mode, but honestly, I'm kind of excited to play it personally. And finally, we have Road Trip mode, and this is the story mode of Kirby Air Riders. Now, once again, I've only played the demos, but looking at the trailer footage in the opening scene, it looks so good. And if it really reminds me of something, which is convenient because Sakurai also made Smash Bros, it sort of reminds me of Smash Bros Classic mode. Or heck, even World of Light. You go against different characters and do races, City Trial, and even Top Ride, which is really cool. And once again, that opening cutscene looks so crisp. I mean, that looks like the World of Light intro. And it looks like they're adding a bunch of things from the Kirby series, like Fountain of Dreams, that Supernova thing, and so much more. So in the end, I'm going to pick Kirby Air Riders as the winner of the modes category. Now, don't get me wrong, Knockout Tour and Free Roam are fun and all, but I feel like they just need to have a little more. And Kirby Air Riders already has so much with City Trial, Top Ride, and even a story mode. I mean, heck, only story mode sold me on this category. Now, before we get to our final section, I just want to say like and subscribe so we can hit 2K before Christmas. But with that all said, let's get right back into the video. Finally, we have the last section, and this is online, and ooh, this one's gonna be good. Starting with, of course, Mario Kart World, and while you're waiting for an online match to start, you actually are in free roam, which I really like because you can practice the tracks while you wait. I also really like that they added free roam because you can actually drive around with the other 23 racers in your lobby, which is really cool. But selecting the tracks is where it all goes downhill, and of course it's because of the intermission tracks. You of course have your random slot, which can give you 3-lap tracks or intermission races, or you have your 3 selected tracks that you can pick from. Now, if they have arrows, that means they're intermission tracks, but if they're all separate, that means it's a 3-lap track. Now, if a 3-lap track appears, you know that at least 75% of the lobby is picking it if they're not under like 5,000 VR. But if not, people just tend to pick random because then they at least have a chance of getting a 3-lap track. Now, I know Nintendo has been updating the 3-lap tracks on online a lot, and I can tell you it is getting better. But let's just be real, if we didn't have the Mario Kart World Discord, the Mario Kart World Online would be absolutely terrible. But Kirby Air Riders has amazing online in my opinion. I mean, if there is flaws, they're very small. And really the only flaw I can think about is when you're waiting for a race to start, you don't have free roam. You're just in a menu waiting for everyone to join. Especially in City Trial when you have to wait for every single person to join, sort of like Splatoon. But honestly, I don't really care about that because we had to do 11 years of that with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so it doesn't even really matter. And speaking of waiting for a race to start, if you're playing with your friends, while you wait, you're actually in a paddock where you play as the rider you choose. You can do loads of things, like of course start races. You can also do emotes emotes and even play music in the background, sort of like Smash Bros.'s lobbies. You also aren't limited to one person starting the races. Anyone can start a race if they really want to, even if they're not the host. Oh, and I almost forgot, you can make your own license, which is super cool. You can customize the background, add stickers, and just do so much with your own license. And the way they keep you coming back is genius. Instead of VR, they give you a rank with its own shape. So say you're in the square rank, they're actually going to put you with more people in the square rank. Another thing with the ranks is that they actually have your own specific rank for the specific mode you're playing, so you'll have a different rank in Top Ride, Air Ride, and City Trial at the same time. So yeah, as you can tell, once again, Kirby Air Riders has great online, and I prefer it way over Mario Kart Worlds. Which means Kirby Air Riders wins the whole comparison with 3.5 points, and Mario Kart World was at 1.5 points. Oh yeah, that is my comparison of Mario Kart World and Kirby Air Riders. It was honestly so fun to make this video, and it will be so fun to make more comparison videos. So with that all said, comment down below what you think of my opinions, and once again, with that all said, peace out.